whispers, alibis thin. Two sharp-eyed sleuths say, all right, who sinned? Has tipped low, clues fall in line. They read between the lines, right on time. Grim starts sweating when the squad rolls through. Every story tested, most don't stand up to prove. So grab your fedora, jump right in. True Crime Squad's on, and the trouble begins. Join the super squad, bonus laughs, deeper clues. Same sharp sleuths, just extra clues.
Hey everybody, welcome to the True Crime Squad. I'm Kristi Brower, here with my sister, co-host, and partner in crime, Katie Weaver. Hey Katie.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going fine. Watching so many of you guys going through some really terrible weather, and it's been cold here, but that's it. Yeah.
We got a tiny dusting of snow, but nothing major.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's all good. We tried something different I know we've talked about this before, but every Saturday or every Sunday night or Sunday afternoon rather now, our family gets together for a family dinner and we play cards or watch the game or whatever. And this is something we've been doing since, before my kids were born. So a long time.
Very long
and
time.
Yeah, and we love it because it gives everybody a chance to see each other and catch up and get all the kids, all the kids that are adults now, get them coming and see what's up with them. And, it just helps our family. And anyway, so yesterday I wanted to try slider night. So everybody brought a different kind of sliders. If you don't know what sliders are, basically it's just little sandwiches, but you buy like a pack of rolls, like a 12-pack, and slice them in half. So you've just got this big, sheet of bread and put all your sandwich stuff in, and you typically bake it and cut it apart. Oh my gosh. That was so much fun and turned out so well.
It did. It was really good. We should do it again. I made meatball sub sliders, and they turned out so good. Oh my gosh.
They were delicious. They were amazing. I did two. I did Reuben sliders. They were awesome. And then I also did like an Italian grinder that has
I had that one. It was really good.
Yeah, like the salad stuff on top, That was awesome. And then our sister Kara did grilled cheese sliders and a chicken bacon ranch slider that was awesome. Yeah, it was so much fun. Seriously.
It was.
If you go look on Facebook Reels or other recipes for slider recipes, well, prepared to give up a day because there's so many of them.
There are a million ideas, and they're all really smart.
Yeah. Hi, Vicki. Welcome.
It was a lot of fun.
Vicki's a first-timer chat, so be super nice to her, like you would.
Welcome, Vicki. Nice to have you here.
We have the best true crime chat in all of true crime. We do.
We absolutely do. There's a lot of shit going on in the world, friends. When is that not the case?
Yeah.
But again, more. So we might as well jump right in because we have a lot to cover.
Yeah.
And first we have Katie's got some Utah is not okay for us.
Yeah. Though maybe more okay than you would think. Do you guys remember not too long ago we brought you this case of these missing children out of Utah? I showed you a bunch of the TikToks of their mother. Her name is Alicia Seymour. She, aka Elle McKinnon, apparently. And Alicia took her 4 children without the permission of their fathers and fled the country. And Alicia was having, it seems to be maybe some psychiatric issues. She was doing a real Lori Vallow-esque doomsday mom kind of thing.
Yeah.
And since May, she's been on TikTok basically, again, just doing all the doomsday stuff, all the prophecies and concerns. And yet again, Utah's going to be hit with a massive earthquake and all the stuff that we keep hearing from
Salt Lake's gonna fall, and
all these same folks, right? So, and the dads didn't know the kids were missing because they were with mom during her custodial time, as they should be, until the daycare called. Said, hey, haven't seen Alicia and the kids, haven't, we don't know what's going on. And they got, eventually the police involved, found a note, a couple of notes in her apartment indicating that she was leaving the country, some notes for herself, prophecy from God, and all that stuff, triggered an international search for these kids. One of the dads did get a voicemail from her indicating that maybe she was in France. And one of the notes had indicated that she would be in Italy by Christmas.
Yes.
So that's the backstory. I think most of you guys probably know what case I'm talking about, but that was the backstory of that case. So we've been wondering for a hot minute now, what's going on? Been very, very worried about these kids, about whether or not they're okay, because her behavior is scary and erratic, and well, we've seen these same cases play out really, really bad before.
We sure have.
So the kids, if you're wondering, are ages 11, 8, 7, and 3. Well,
Just
we
little guys.
now have a bit of a conclusion, and it's not a sad one for once. The kids have been
This is a
found.
terrifying one, though. Holy shit.
Yeah. The kids are in an orphanage in Croatia. So
If
apparently,
that sounds like, how is that even real?
yes.
You are not alone.
So what Dad told KSL today is that what he understands has happened is that she connected with an American living in Croatia who thought that the children were being brought there legally, but learned of the news back, I think, right around the 15th of this month, so about 11 days ago, that the kids were not there legally. And they called the police. And Alicia was taken into custody, and all 4 of the kids ended up in the state's custody. So when we say Croatian orphanage, that may strike fear in your hearts. The term orphanage is frightening. When I looked it up, basically that's just the term in Croatia for being in state's care. So they are in a facility for children. But I would stop at I would halt at the idea of that they're in a terrible place. They're not in a terrible place.
I don't know,
However,
some of the families saying it's pretty bad.
well, they're in the custody of the state and they aren't letting them go, at least yet. So Dad is there. They're allowed to see them for 2 hours is all every day, and he said even that is actually bending the rules. Their visitation is super, super strict. So he says they're warm, they're fed, they're scared because, and they feel like they're in prison because, they kind of are. And because their dad and other family members are in the country, they're there, they're ready to take custody of them. And apparently, and very unfortunately, this is going to be what could be a pretty long process. They've had to get Croatian attorneys. Actually, I'm going to just read you the update so that you know what they're saying. This was an update from yesterday. This is from their GoFundMe. The kids are trapped in Croatia in a state-run orphanage. We are in the country trying to get the kids out of the custody of the local government. We have to hire Croatian lawyers who specialize in child abduction, create and submit a Hague Convention application, hire court-approved translators, and extend our stay here by an unknown amount of time, all to work on getting the kids released from government custody. Therefore, we decided to raise our goal, blah, blah, blah. That's their GoFundMe. And I'll put a link to the GoFundMe in the chat for you, and you can find that online as well. That's Abducted Kids, Help Us Get Them Back. That's what the GoFundMe says. There's something else here that I hope we learn more about over time. The GoFundMe says there is also a 5th American child in this children's home. My children were traveling with him and his mother. The 5th child's situation is even more difficult than my own kids. We would like to help him as much as possible. His situation is going to need more legal help and strategy than ours. My God.
Well, his mother and their mother got into a fight in front of the police station and they were both arrested. And then all 5 children were placed in that state's custody. They're both mothers are in jail.
Yeah.
In Croatia.
Yeah. So now we've got.
And I don't
all
know what the status is
kids.
of that 13-year-old boy, if he's also
Yeah.
abducted from his father. Yikes. Scary.
Really scary, really sad. I can't even fathom the amount of trauma these kids have gone through
No, and are still going through.
and are still going through. Yeah. Yep. So, yes, it sounds like the embassy is getting involved. Yes, it is the people that are, there are people that are trying to help them to get the process going, to get something and to speed it up with the authorities so that they can get the children back into their custody and back home to Utah where
Yeah.
they belong. I mean, this is
Right.
a huge disruptor of their families' lives, and a huge expense that they weren't prepared to take on
Oh,
to
yeah.
just get their children back.
Absolutely. Well, and one thing I read today said that they need a court order from a Utah judge, basically ordering that these children do belong to these fathers, that they are U.S. citizens, and that they need to be returned to the United States and to their families.
Yeah.
So that's one thing they're working on too. But man,
Yeah.
can you imagine being in a country where you don't speak the language and trying to navigate this system?
No.
Would be terrifying.
Or being children,
I,
being
I
held in a
can,
facility like this,
and
not
they
speaking the
don't
language,
speak the
and
language. Yeah.
yep. So on one hand, thank God these kids are okay, because
Yeah.
this could have gone a different direction so quickly. This is exactly the kind of case that we see, and my heart just sinks because we've seen too many times that the kids don't live through it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm incredibly grateful that these children are okay. But man, I really, really, really hope that this works out quickly
Yes.
so that
And quickly.
the dads can get their children back, get them back to
Yes.
Utah, and get their lives back on track.
Well, and
Yeah.
maybe this 13-year-old boy too. Does he need
Yeah.
to be returned to a family member as well? That is
Mhm.
wild.
Yep. Yep. So holding space for all of these kids and dads. Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So with that, I'm going to kick it over to you for our main case.
This is a crimes against the people. Well, friends, unfortunately, it has happened again. ICE has murdered another protester. And if it could be even more egregious than the Renee Good murder, it is.
Mm-hmm.
It is horrifying. This is Alex Pretti. Alex Pretti was a U.S. citizen and intensive care nurse at the Minneapolis Veterans Affairs healthcare system. He was a VA nurse in the ICU.
Mm-hmm.
He was 37 years old. And on January 24th, so Saturday, there was a big federal immigration enforcement surge in Minneapolis
Mm-hmm.
again. Pretti was filming federal agents with his phone and trying to help a couple of other protesters who were kind of having an altercation where they were getting like pepper sprayed by ICE. He also was kind of directing traffic and kind of trying to help. You could see that he was kind of just trying to help keep people safe.
Yeah.
He was also carrying a 9mm pistol in a holster, which he had a legal permit to carry.
Mm-hmm.
He never removed that gun from the holster. One of the ICE agents pushed one of the legal observers and pushed her down.
Mm-hmm.
And Pretti went to try to help her stand up. And the federal agent, the ICE agent, I'm not calling them federal agents, the ICE agent sprayed Pretti with pepper spray. He was also pushed, and so he and this other woman kind of ran into each other, and he like wrapped his arms around her to try to keep them both upright. That is when several agents wrestled Pretti onto the street, and one of them removed his handgun. They call it disarming him, but he was not armed.
No.
He never had the gun in his hand. The only thing he ever had in his hand was a cell phone because he was filming. And within about a 5-second period, 10 shots were fired by federal agents, hitting him multiple times and killing him. He was pinned on the ground when they shot him, and another of them had his gun in their hand at the time. So as you can imagine, because this is the world we're living in now, this is not the claim made by the Department of Homeland Security. DHS says that he approached officers with a 9mm handgun and violently resisted and tried to imply self-defense as justification for the shooting. Well, as is the way of the world now, this was filmed from multiple angles.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you the video. I want to give you a major trigger warning because you hear the gunshots, you see the gunshots, and you also hear the screaming of the bystanders. So if that is something that you don't want to see, please don't watch this. But I do want you to trust your own eyes about what you see.
Yeah.
And there are many different angles. I'm not going to show them all to you. I don't even think that it's necessary at this point. You can go watch all the other ones too. But I don't think it's hard to see what happened here. So if you see, I'm going to play it again. So the woman with the orange backpack is the woman he was trying to help. They separate him. All of the cluster of officers are on top of him. They shoot him as he is on the ground, face down.
The fuck did you just do? What the fuck did you just do? What the?
Yep.
And so again, ICE agents murder an innocent bystander.
And
Who
then
was
as
in no
people
way a
are
threat to
yelling
any
at
of them.
them after that, one of the agents said to her, "Boo-hoo.
Yeah.
Boo-hoo. We can just murder people in the street. You don't like it? Boo-hoo."
Yep, they have no fear whatsoever. Those agents were immediately placed on leave and removed from the state of Minnesota, you know, to protect them from being arrested for the murder they just commit.
Yeah.
9 shots. Some people think 10, but 9 shots.
Yeah.
So here are some of the other things that have happened since that shooting, because immediately DHS came on and told a bunch of bullshit, because you can see it's bullshit. And so several witnesses have now lodged official statements with the courts in order to ensure that their statements are not lost, to protect them. There are multiple angles of video. And now we know, boy, this sounds a lot like the Renee Good situation, that there was a doctor present and that the doctor asked to try to assist Pretti. This is a 29-year-old pediatrician who was present, witnessed the shooting, lodged a statement with the courts as well. They tried to provide immediate aid. They were immediately stopped by first responders because they wanted this doctor to prove they were a doctor, which they didn't have anything on them to prove that. But in the meantime, were ICE agents giving Pretti CPR? No, they were not.
No.
They were counting the bullet holes in his body, is
Mhm.
what the doctor says.
Yep.
They finally let the physician in after they were patted down, because of course they're the ones that are at risk, whatever. And the doctor immediately tried to perform CPR, and then he had all of these gunshot wounds and he died right there.
Yeah.
They did finally let paramedics in, but Pretti was already gone by that point. At no point did they attempt to render any aid at all. Also, several of the witnesses have been threatened. We are not sure for sure if any of them have been detained or not. Some of them were very afraid of being detained. And that's one of the reasons why they filed a lawsuit and registered their statements in court, is because there was a lot of fear that they were going to be detained by ICE. I can't tell for sure if any of them have been detained by ICE or not, because of course they're lying like usual.
Yeah.
Right. Immediately, the state of Minnesota sued the federal government to enforce the ability to maintain the scene and evidence, because in the Renee Good murder, they immediately confiscated the entire scene and broke it up,
Yeah.
and did not allow the officials in Minnesota access to that. So
Yeah.
there's an injunction that stops them from doing that now. Who knows if the feds will
Right.
listen to that or not, honestly. DHS is saying that they have body cam footage of the shooting, which, okay, whatever. We've all seen the shooting. We've all seen the shooting from multiple angles. If you look it up, you'll be able to see it from multiple angles, but you really don't see anything different than what this video is that I just showed you.
Yeah.
ICE murdered another innocent victim.
There are, people down there or out there that have broken it up into still frames so that you
Yes.
can really and blown it up so that you can see.
Right.
And you can clearly see his weapon
Yeah, holstered.
never being pulled by him. You can see his phone, which is the only thing that if anything was brandished, it was a phone that he was holding, which is nothing to say. The lady he helped up said that the last words that he said were, "Are you okay?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I was not aware they were wearing body cams. Most of the time they're not wearing body cams. I don't know. And who knows? I don't believe anything that's being said by DHS at this point, because
No.
it is constantly counter to what we can see with our own eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know where Alex's phone is. I assume it is in the custody of these of a federal agency at this point. It's terrifying.
Yep.
But here we are.
Yep. Unbelievable.
So we will continue to follow up on this. We do know now that Renee Good's autopsy did deem her death a homicide. One of the things that was indicated in the autopsy is that she had a heartbeat for 6 minutes after the shooting, in which no aid was rendered.
Yep.
And there was a doctor, crazily, also at that scene, and they were held back from being able to get to her to render aid as well.
And they too
as
were
the
desperately trying to
paramedics.
get to her
Yes.
and being
Yes.
refused access to her.
Yep. Yeah. Will Jonathan Ross ever be charged? Will these officers ever be charged? We don't know their names. As usual, lots of protection happening for the murder squad.
Yep.
Because at this point, that's what they are.
Absolutely.
And all kinds of evidence and information is being withheld from Minnesota authorities, who have every right to investigate the murder of their own citizen. So I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, if anything.
Yeah.
Yep.
But as awful as this is, and as difficult as it is to watch, it is extremely important that we continue to witness what is happening, and then we continue to trust our own eyes and not what we are being told. And I know I told you all after the Renee Good shooting to go read 1984 by George Orwell. And if you haven't, please do, because this is exactly the way that fascist regimes work, by forcing you to discount even what you can see with your own eyes.
Yep.
And we're not stupid. We've seen the videos. We know what happened here.
Absolutely.
And with that, Katie, I know that you have some serial killer news for us. And I will tell. Where is our. Oh, there it is. There it is.
All right. I'm going to talk to you about a potential serial killer out of Stockton, California. Oh, there we go. And why we're talking about it, because this actually began a long time ago, but the state has just announced that they are going to seek the death penalty. And California does not seek the death penalty very often.
That is true.
But so this is a case that I don't know if we've ever covered this. Maybe we have. I couldn't decide.
I think we have. He looks familiar to me, that we may have covered him at some point.
Yeah. So here's what we know. He carried out an 18-month killing spree with multiple fatal shootings and one non-fatal attack. He was arrested in 2022, but, per normal, it's taking forever for this to get through the courts, and they're just barely announcing that they are seeking the death penalty.
Okay.
When he was arrested, it was shortly after the latest linked shooting to him. The police described his actions as being on a mission to kill.
Oof. That's very scary.
So in 2025, a grand jury indicted him on 6 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of attempted murder. Later on, the prosecutors dropped one of the murder charges. So now he's, at this point, facing 5 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of attempted murder. So let's lay out a bit of a timeline. So on April 10th, 2021, he shot and killed a man in Oakland, California. And at the time, they treated it like an isolated homicide because it was. But then, on July 8th, 2022, his first shooting in Stockton happened. A man was shot and killed. He was walking alone at night and was shot on the street. Still didn't link it back for a while to the shooting in Oakland. In August of 2022, so just 1 month later, he really escalates, and there's multiple fatal shootings in August. And so they start to see a pattern here. They have victims that are walking alone. It's late night to early morning hours. It's a single gunshot, and there's no robbery, and there's no personal connection that they can find. So at this point, they're starting to think, yep, we've got a potential serial killer. They always, have you ever noticed how much the authorities hate that term? They really don't want you to use it.
Yeah.
Whenever
really
people
don't.
say we have some kind of potential serial killer happening here, the authorities will run out and always be like, no, everything is fine. Not the case. And 9 times out of 10, it turns out it's exactly the case. But anyway, so even now they're calling it a potential serial killer or a suspected serial killer. Well, okay. So in September of 2022, this is when the police finally publicly acknowledge a potential serial shooting pattern and start asking residents not to walk alone at night, to travel in groups, and they start offering a reward.
Scary, man.
Then on September 21st, he shoots a woman, but she lives, which is critical because ballistics link her back to earlier murders, including the one in Oakland. Then they know, holy shit, it is the same guy that has been doing all of this. When they arrest him on October 15th, he was, according to authorities, out hunting at the time. So they say he wears black clothing, he has a mask around his neck, he's armed with a firearm, and he's hunting for a victim. Yeah, that's so awful. So it starts bouncing around through the courts. There have been some big questions from the defense about mental health and competency to stand trial. But finally, now, through the ongoing court process that obviously is taking absolutely forever, they have now said he's now pled guilty, and now they're saying that they will seek the death penalty. Yeah.
So he's pleaded guilty, but they're still
No,
seeking the
not
death penalty.
guilty. He's
Oh, he's pleaded not guilty.
Sorry, did I
Okay.
say guilty? Sorry.
You
That's a
did, and
big
I was
miss.
like, he did? Oh,
No.
shit.
That's a big miss.
Okay.
No, thanks for clearing that up. No, he's pled not guilty. So
Okay.
that's basically what we have so far. But it's egregious if the state of California is going to seek the death penalty,
It's true. Yeah.
because
They
they
don't seek it
don't.
nearly as frequently.
No, they don't. But this is one of those cases that if they were going to seek it, he killed a lot of people.
He sure did.
So he's not charged for as many as they believe that he did. They believe that he murdered 7 people and injured 1.
And he's charged for what, 5?
5.
5 and 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can you imagine how much more damage he could have inflicted if they didn't find him?
Right. Holy crap.
Also,
They
can you
really caught him
imagine
pretty quickly.
Right. Can you imagine being a law enforcement officer in Stockton and every night you're like, is it going to happen tonight? Is it going to happen again?
I can't. That's, wow.
That must have been such a scary time for citizens as well as law enforcement in that town. My God.
Right? That's terrifying when there's somebody on the street like Wesley Brownlee. Wow.
Yeah, for sure. So that's what I've got. We'll keep an eye on Wesley Brownlee. At some point,
For
he's
sure.
going to go to trial.
Eventually, someday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wowza. All right. Well, that's a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
Please take good care of yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that you are getting breaks from the chaos we're living in right now. It's really
Mhm.
important. But also, please make sure that you are also witnessing it. It's very
Yeah.
important. This is a time that we cannot look away.
Yeah.
And always trust your own eyes. Always trust your own eyes.
Yeah.
Well, we will be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Mountain and follow our usual schedule for the week. So
Mm-hmm.
stay tuned. We will see you tomorrow. Yes, we'll be talking about that. Aaron Spencer's judge was replaced. So
Yes.
was Nikki Stein's judge.
Yep.
So
Between
there's
Friday
some
and
really
today,
interesting
both of
stuff
them.
happening in court. The
Mhm.
Brendan Banfield trial has been delayed. Apparently, Brendan is going to testify on his behalf, guys. And so,
Yep.
we're going to be right
All
on top
over
of that because that's always, well, it's a terrible idea, but it makes for some pretty interesting entertainment, doesn't it?
Right. What are we
It
going to
was
get out of
supposed to happen.
Brendan? Are we going to get
Right.
Tellez? Are we going to get Murdoch?
Yeah. Are we going to get some Sarah Boone? I don't know.
I was just thinking that too.
It is tough to say, but we will be there
Yeah.
for it. It was supposed to happen today, but all of the snowstorms, their courthouse is shut down, and we don't know. The judge had said it might be shut down until Thursday because of the amount of snow they've had. So as soon as Banfield is back on, we will let you know, and we will be bringing that testimony to you. Don't you worry.
Definitely. Yes.
Yeah. Then we will continue covering, yes, the Minneapolis situations and other crimes against our people.
Yep.
And with that, you know it. We are the True Crime Squad. Thanks for being here.
Take care.
Join the super squad, bonus laughs, deeper clues, same sharp slews, just extra clues.